Доброго дня всім, шановні колеги.
Всім доброго дня.
Добрий день.
Вітаю.
Доброго дня. Доброго дня.
Доброго дня.
Добрий день всім.
Добрий день. Доброго дня.
Добрий день,
Всім
слава
доброго
Україні.
дня. Добрий день.
Доброго дня.
Добрий день.
Героям слава.
Good morning. I would like to greet everyone today. My name is Vanessa Christina. As organizer of this conference, I would like to welcome all participants, speakers, and guests at the opening of 9th International Scientific Conference, which was postponed due to Russia's invasion into Ukraine. Thanks Ukrainian armed forces and the broad international support, today we have the opportunity to hold our conference. I'm incredibly happy to see everyone today. More than 300 participants from 15 countries were registered at our conference. Honorary speakers represent next countries Poland, USA, Georgia, Israel, Uzbekistan, and Ukraine. I want to wish everyone peace, a stable future, the development of science, new inventions, and the opportunity to share them with the world. And now, I would like to give the floor to one more organizer of this conference, Doctor of Economic Science, Professor Liliana Goral. Welcome, Liliana Goral.
Thank you. Good day. I am Liliana Goral and I am presenting from National Technical University of Oil and Gas. My presentation is 1 minute, please. Dear colleagues and the conference participants, welcome to the 9th International Scientific Conference on Sustainability in Energy and Environmental Science. We are holding this conference at an extremely difficult and disturbing time for Ukraine and each of us. However, scientists around the world must be united as never before and hold discussions about sustainable development of territories, environmental, economic, and national security. And today, we raise such acute issues in this conference and research on sustainability in energy and in environmental science, including sustainable development, sustainable and efficient use of energy, natural resource, renewable, smart and green energy, development, environmental management, science and technology, global threats, disaster and mitigation, and others. As you could see on our website, the highlight of sustainable development were present at all our conferences, and now we pay special attention to them. The goal of the conference can be achieved via discussions and materials provided by participants in the following areas, such as sustainable development of renewable, smart, and environmentally friendly energy, environmental restoration, environmental engineering and ecotechnology, sustainable development of agriculture and environment, management in a circular economy, risk management in energy and environment systems, measurement, forecasting and monitoring of infrastructure facility stability, global threats, catastrophes, pandemics, and emergency measures. The organizers the conference enables us to analyze the previous times and compare the number of participants, and the results give us the immense honor. Today we are pleased to welcome our program committee, which included scientists and practitioners for sustainable energy and the environment from 13 countries. We truly thank them for responding to our invitation and taking an active part in reviewing the submitted conference materials. Among the large number of articles submitted to the conference, those have been selected that best fit the conference's topic, have elements of scientific novelty, were developed using a variety of research methods based on the teaching of the researcher on a particular topic. Therefore, during the conference, we will listen to and discuss 53 reports, which, in the opinion of the scientific committee of the conference, are the most knowledge intensive and have the affinity for particular implementation. I would also like to draw your attention to the member of the conference's scientific committee, which includes well-known scientific in the world of sustainable development, heads of scientific schools that focus on this issue. Talking about the participant statistics, the conference is attended by 223 people, representing 87 universities and organizations from 13 countries. It is gratifying that among them there are masters and graduate students, in particular the Department of Finance and the Department of Applied Economics of our university. The scientific level of the conference is confirmed by the fact that it is attended by 204 people with a doctor's degree and candidates of science. Thus, which countries are with us today? We are supported in every possible way by the participants from England, IOP Publishing House, where the conference materials will be posted and indexed. Once again, we welcome scientists from Poland. Their number is growing every year. And we will be glad to hear the reports of Ms. Eva Matuska, Mr. Vladimir Streltsov from the Pomeranian Academy in the Slupsk, Mr. Giuseppe Cerella from the University of Gdańsk, Ms. Olga Prokopenko, University of the Third Age, Ms. Malgorzata Sidor Zhatkowska, Warsaw University of Technology. Latvia and Slovakia are widely represented of our conference. I would like to welcome our special guest, Professor Badri Gijbaya from Georgia, academician of the Georgian Academy of Business Sciences, who with colleagues has conducted a research titled Challenges and Barriers in Transition to Circular Economy Business Models, and will present the results today. And of course, I can help but mention our colleagues from Ukraine who have helped and supported us in the organization of the conference. In particular, I would like to mention the founders of the conference and the Scopus base in Ukraine are the Solovyov family from State University of Economics of Technology, Andrei Matvichuk, Kyiv National Economic University named after Vadim Hetman, Sergei Semiryakov, Kryvyi Rih State Pedagogical University, Olena Panukhnik, Ternopil Ivan Puluy National Technical University, Victoria Prokhorova, Ukrainian Engineering Pedagogics Academy, Nazary Popadinets, Lviv Polytechnic National University, and many scientists whose professional achievements are relevant and significant for sustainability in energy and environmental science. Thus, the number of universities from Ukraine participants in the conference is 118 from 24 cities and 9 regions. The organizing committee, having systematized the articles, has defined 5 sections that will be operating for 2 days. The articles in the sections are arranged as you see on the slide. In conclusion, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to my colleagues from Ivano-Frankivsk National Technical University of Oil and Gas for quality organization and significant contribution to the 9th International Scientific Conference on Sustainability in Energy and Environmental Science, including Associated Professor Inessa Khvostina, postgraduate student Sofia Dub, and the moderators of our meetings, namely Professor Irina Fadeyeva and Professor Sofia Kafka. Thank you for your attention, and may this conference be a unifying platform that will show the invaders that the world well seeks the peace and prosperity of every country. Slava Ukraini! Glory to Ukraine!
Героям слава.
So we can start our plenary meeting as I understood. Okay, dear colleagues, I would like to send my best greetings from beautiful and brave country named Ukraine to all conference participants. I also appreciate so much that most of you are our permanent partners, members of participants of conference. So I think and I wish you to have nice and productive time during our plenary meeting and next section meetings. And also I want to remind you that according to demands to such level of conferences, all conference activity is recorded right now and will be recorded in the future. So I ask you to keep your cameras open during all our conference. And now I would like to give floor to Maxim Karpash, Doctor of Technical Sciences, Professor, Vice Rector for Scientific and Pedagogical Work from Ivano-Frankivsk National Technical University of Oil and Gas, Ukraine. Please, Mr. Karpash.
Thank you very much. I'm really delighted to have a short welcome speech at this conference. By the time when I was, walking in and thinking about the scope of the conference, I found out that Ukraine in recent 3 years we faced two events that unlikely to be happen in the normal several decades before, like war and pandemics. So normally we talk about that, we study that in the history courses, but so the politicians, the civic activists, and the teachers everywhere, they said that these events are, the probability of these events are very, very low. But we faced the reality. So in 2020 we had pandemics with all the problems and obstacles, including to the energy. If you remember, in the May 2020 we faced the negative prices for oil, which is unpredictable and fantastic. And now we have $100 per barrel, which is again a roller coaster for the prices. If we say about the war, it's now we see that probably not only from the economic point of view, we will see something like a war in the energy area in the world, because lots of routes for the fossil fuels are now to be changed within the next months, probably in the light of all the restrictions applied so far. And we think in Ukraine we face a lot of problems, ruining the infrastructure, like the drop down of the energy demand by 30%, as reported by the most recent data as I know. So who shall develop the answers and the routes to return to the new order of the life? So probably as the centuries ago, so the scientists, the researchers are those who shall propose the possible solutions. So I think the conference, and probably someone saw that I was scrolling through the titles of the presentations. So they are more or less like the attempts to answer those questions. So I wish all you, the organizing committee, and all the participants really to discuss, to understand that the world in terms of sustainability will not be the same as it was before the war of Russia against Ukraine. And so I really looking forward for the embodiment, implementation of the solutions that will be developed in the line of this conference. Glory to Ukraine.
Glory to heroes.
Glory to heroes.
Yes, thank you so much, dear professor, for your, let's say, kindly speaking and wishes. So next I want to invite Professor, Doctor of Technical Sciences, Oleg Novomlinets, Rector of Chernihiv Polytechnic National University, Ukraine. Please, dear Professor.
Добрий день, шановні колеги. Добрий день, друзі. Найщиріше вітання з міста Героя Чернігів і від цієї Чернігівської політехніки.
Good morning, dear colleagues. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Our best wishes from Hero City Chernihiv and from all the people.
2 роки, коли нас обмежено коронавірус, ми засмучувалися, що не можемо взяти офлайн участь у традиційній конференції.
For 2 years, when we were locked by the coronavirus, we were upset that we could not take part in the traditional conference offline.
Сьогодні ми щасливі від того, що маємо змогу вітати вас онлайн. І дякуємо за це нашим Збройним силам України.
Today, we're really happy to welcome you online, and we thank our armed forces of Ukraine for this opportunity.
Сьогоднішня наша конференція є ще одним свідченням того, що ми єдині, що ми сильні, що ми не тільки відстоюємо наше право на вільне життя, а й дбаємо про майбутнє покоління. Бо сталий розвиток в енергетиці та екології – це якраз про наше майбутнє, це якраз про майбутнє наших дітей.
Today's conference is another proof that we are united, we are strong, and we are not only defending our right to freedom, but also take care of future generations. Because sustainable development in energy and ecology is just about our future, the future of our children.
А світ, врешті-решт, має зрозуміти, що потрібно якнайшвидше злізти з нафтогазової голки окремих країн і нарешті вже створити нові, безпечні, незалежні джерела енергії. Це можливо лише тільки об'єднавши зусилля світу.
The world must finally understand the need to get off the oil and gas needle of individual countries as soon as possible, and finally create safe, independent energy. It is possible only by joining our efforts.
Вітаю всіх з початку конференції. Бажаю всім плідної роботи.
Problems with connection.
Conference, and I wish everyone fruitful work for the development and prosperity of the entire civilized world, and of course, health and peace to all of us.
Glory of Ukraine. Героям
Героям
слава.
слава. Героям слава. Thank you so much, dear professor, for your kind speaking and interesting information. So now I would like to invite Sergei Kushko, Vice Rector for Scientific and Pedagogical, Educational Work and International Affairs of State University of Economics and Technology from Ukraine.
Good afternoon, dear audience. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to speak at the ninth International Scientific Conference on Sustainability in Energy and Environmental Science, and give regards from the State University of Economics and Technology. As you know, sustainability is new and highly important issue for discourse and at promoting a new strategy in the development of energy, water, and development system, which are the key components that affect the quality of life on our planet. It's becoming increasingly clear that the quest for sustainable development requires integrating economic, social, cultural, political, and ecological factors. Energy sustainability is a key consideration point for anthropogenic activity and the development of societies and more broadly civilizations. So the issue discussed at the conference are very relevant for any country in the world. And to talk about Ukraine, it is really vital for us to get access to the European environmental programs LIFE and Copernicus. To complete my speech, I would like to wish participants at the conference and interested in productive discussion and peace to our country in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your speech, dear professor. Now I want to invite, I would like to invite our friend, long time participant of our conference and friend of our university and Institute of Economical and Management, in which we are working, professor from Pomeranian University in Slupsk, Eva Matuska. Please, professor.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Rector. And I would like to say that it is really a great honor to me and pleasure to be once again on the International Scientific Conference on Sustainability in Energy and Environmental Science. And I would like to transfer best greetings from Pomeranian University in Słupsk to all participants, especially to organizers in name of my Institute of Safety and Management, where we closely cooperate with Ivano-Frankivsk University, and also from authorities of my academy. On this conference, I think will be once again confirmed that Ukrainian academics are very well prepared to participation in most important issues containing development of business and development of environmental sciences, and this input, which will be delivered together with many productions, many referats, will be very helpful with further development of your beautiful country. I think that it is the wind of changes which is blowing very fast And this wind also will bring whole Ukraine to European community faster than we ever expect. And this time of challenges will also finish very soon. And people who are engaged so much in these efforts to live normally and to make science as usual will be successful. I wish everybody a successful conference. Thank you very much for invitation, and also would like to say on the end, glory of Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. Thank you.
Slava. Thank you so much, dear professor, for your greetings and speech. And so, next I would like to invite to our, let's say, discussion, plenary meeting, Doctor of Economical Sciences, Professor from Georgian Academy of Business Sciences, Professor Badri Gechbaya. Please.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, participants of international conference, I greet you in behalf of the personnel of Batum Shotarustaveli State University. I am Badri Gechbaya, Doctor of Economics, Professor. It's great honor for our take part in the 9th International Scientific Conference on Sustainability in Energy and Environmental Science. Georgia and Ukraine are countries which are on their way of European development. Today, Ukraine suffers from Russian aggression. Ukrainian people stand strongly and bravely against Iran's aggression, and we, Georgians, or rather nation, support you. Under the context of ongoing political and economic events, and Ukraine and the world, the import of holding our conference that year for the further development and wealth of our countries. The top of our countries is also clear evidence for this and presented paper are both sustainability and environmental protection issues. Let me say special thanks to the conference organization. We are very with training part in this important event. Wish success to the conference. Slava Ukraini, Slava Героям. Glory to Ukraine, dear colleagues. Thank you.
Slava, thank you so much, dear professor.
Slava Ukraini.
Yes, Героям Slava. So, and next I would like to invite Vladimir Streltsov, PhD of Technical Sciences from Pomeranian University in Slupsk, Poland.
Yeah, dear colleagues, I would like also to join such warm invitation for all the participants and management committee of our conference. I hope that Ukrainian path in the sphere of European integration have very good impact on modernization of society, because its main attractor, main motivation which made some changes possible, and also I would like to put a stress on several options that we have during this conference, because not only exchanging of views, ideas, but also future project, future interesting cooperation that we could enjoy during our extensive contact Polish side. And I hope that not only student exchange and teacher exchange between Poland and Ukraine take place, but also our countries go more deeply in coordination of scientific policies, because now we have different standards and different approaches for evaluation of scientific activity, and you don't see much more Polish colleagues on Ukrainian conference and vice versa, yeah, because we need much more unification in scientific activities. It also depends from us how we to lobby some changes in scientific trends and evaluation of our activities. And I would like also to thank the Ukrainian Armed Force and hope to fruitful and very, very pleasant atmosphere of our conference. Героям слава!
Слава Україні, героям слава! Thank you so much. I hope that collaboration between our countries and between scientists will grow from day to day, as you said. Next I would like to invite Arnold Kiev, Doctor of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, Professor from Ben Gurion University of the Negev from Israel. Please, dear Professor.
Dear colleagues, it's a pleasure for me to lead this conference on behalf of Ben Gurion University in Israel, and also South Ukrainian National Pedagogical University after Shensky in Odessa. I would like to wish everybody, everyone, good health, well-being, and successful participation in this conference. It's very important that our science, in such difficult conditions, we know about these conditions, does not stop. And I'm sure that we'll win, and our life will be as early will be new and without any difficulties that we have today. Glory to Ukraine. Слава Україні.
Героям слава! Thank you, dear Professor, for your kind wishes and your speech. And now, please, Andriy Matvichuk, Doctor of Economical Sciences, Professor from Kyiv National Economic University, named after Vadim Hetman from Ukraine.
Hello, thank you. Hello, dear organizers and participants of 9th International Scientific Conference on Sustainability in Energy and Environmental Science. Thank you for opportunity to once again take part in such interesting event, which every year becomes more and more actual, taking into account the constantly emerging challenge both for the world community and especially for Ukraine. Particularly, we are currently implementing a commercial project to forecast the consumption of electricity and gas for one of the largest poultry farms in Europe. For them, the task is extremely urgent given the height and ever-increasing cost of energy. And the accuracy of the forecast allows them to reduce the cost of the purchase of its purchase by almost half. Having plugged it into this project, we understand how interesting and versatile this direction is. How many things need to be taken into account in solving this problem? With what experts do we have to interact in its solution? So we hope that including the participants of this conference, and we will be interacting in future. Once again, congratulations to everyone on this conference. All the best and future scientific success and peace and our victory. Gloria to Ukraine. Thank you.
Slava, thank you so much for your speech. And next I would like to invite Mr. Abdul Hakim Mamanazarov, PhD of Economics, Associated Professor, founder of the Center of Economic Culture Development from Uzbekistan.
Assalomu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Aziz do'stlar, hurmatli konferensiya ishtirokchilari.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear participants.
Biz an'anaviy ravishda axborot kommunikatsiya imkoniyatlarini kengaytirish orqali samarali hamkorlikka hissa qo'shadigan innovatsion usullardan foydalanamiz.
I would like to welcome you at the 9th International Scientific Conference on Sustainable Energy and Environmental Sciences. We have traditionally used innovative ways to foster fruitful interaction, enhancing information and communication opportunities.
Energetika va atrof muhit fanlarini barqaror rivojlantirish bo'yicha o'tkazilayotgan xalqaro ilmiy konferensiya energetika va atrof muhit fani bo'yicha ilmiy amaliy tadqiqotlarni qamrab olib, butun dunyo olimlari va professional muhandislar uchun ilmiy platforma bo'lib xizmat qiladi. Shuningdek, energetika va atrof muhit fanlari bo'yicha barqarorlik bilan bog'liq ko'plab mavzularni ochib beradi.
The International Scientific Conference on Sustainable Energy and Environmental Sciences covers scientific and practical research in energy and environmental sciences, revealing a wide range of topics related to sustainability in energy and environmental sciences, providing a scientific platform for scientists and professional engineers from over the world.
Ko'rib chiqilayotgan masalalar va mavzular bugungi kunda juda dolzarbdir. Ular qayta tiklanadigan aqlli va yashil energiyani rivojlantirish, atrof muhit sohasida fan va texnikani rivojlantirish, atrof muhitni tiklash, atrof muhit muhandisligi va ekologik texnologiya, qishloq xo'jaligi va atrof muhitning barqaror rivojlanishi, tarmoq iqtisodiyotini boshqarish, energiya, yer va atrof muhit tizimlarida xavf-xatarlarni boshqarish, global tahdidlar, falokatlar pandemiya va favqulodda choralar kabi mavzulardir.
The issues and topics covered are highly topical today. These are topics such as development of renewable, smart and green energy, development of environmental science and technology, environmental remediation, environmental engineering and ecotechnology, sustainable agriculture and environment, cyclical economy management, risk management in energy, earth and air environmental system, global threats, disasters, pandemics, and emergency measures.
So'nggi 10 yilliklarda ekologik muammolarning ahamiyati to'g'risida xabardorlik oshdi. Ushbu xabardorlik natijasida hukumatlar o'rtasida ekologik muammolarni mustaqil ravishda ikki tomonlama, mintaqaviy va global miqyosda hal qilish zarurati paydo bo'ldi. Ushbu qiyin muammoni hal qilishga intilishdan asosiy universal maqsad esa barqaror rivojlanish, mavjud global resurslarga va ekologik potensialga ehtiyotkorlik bilan munosabatda bo'lishga va vayron qilingan hamda shafqatsiz ekspluatatsiya qilingan atrof muhitni tiklashga asoslangan bo'lishi lozim. Rivojlanish bugungi kun talablariga javoban bergandagina barqarordir. Biroq ayni paytda kelajak avlodning o'z ehtiyojlarini qondirish imkoniyatlarini susaytirmaydi.
Awareness of the importance of environmental issues has increased over the past decades. This awareness has emerged among governments and they address environmental issues themselves bilaterally, regionally, and globally. The overarching goal to be pursued in addressing these complicated issues should be sustainable development that is based on the respect of available global resources and environmental capacity and on the restoration of an environment that has been degraded and mercilessly exploited. Development is sustainable when it meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
Atrof muhitni muhofaza qilish masalalari O'zbekiston uchun ham dolzarbdir. O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti Shavkat Miromonovich Mirziyoyev 2022-yil 25-yanvarda bo'lib o'tgan onlayn sammitda bir makon, bir yo'l tashabbusi doirasida hamkorlikning asosiy yo'nalishlaridan biriga aylangan Yashil Ipak yo'li doirasida hamkorlik bo'yicha yo'l xaritasini ishlab chiqish tashabbusini ilgari surdi.
Environmental issues are also relevant for Uzbekistan. President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Miromonovich Mirziyoyev, at an online summit which was held on January 25th, 2022, put forward an initiative to develop a roadmap for cooperation within the framework on the Green Silk Road, which is becoming one of the key areas of cooperation within the framework of the One Region, One Road initiative. The initiative announced by the leader of the country is fully in the interest of Uzbekistan, which in recent years has made great efforts to develop alternative energy sources, viewing this approach as a major factor in sustainable development.
Mamlakat rahbari tomonidan bildirilgan ushbu tashabbus so'nggi yillarda muqobil energiya manbalarini rivojlantirishga qaratilgan katta sa'y-harakatlarni amalga oshirayotgan O'zbekiston manfaatlariga to'liq javob bermoqda.
These resources are fully alternative energy resources is fully using in our republic.
Ukraina ta'lim va fan vazirligi, Frankova neft va gaz milliy texnika universiteti tomonidan tashkil etilgan konferensiya ilmiy tadqiqotlarni nashr qilish, muhokama qilish, fikr va bilim almashish, shuningdek, kelajakda hamkorlik uchun tarmoq yaratish imkonini beradi. Hamkorlikda ishlash bizni ilmiy bilimlar chegarasini kengaytirish, fanni rivojlantirish va ilgari surish imkonini hamda turli mamlakatlardan kelgan olimlarga o'z qobiliyatlarini namoyon etish imkoniyatini beradi.
The conference, organized by the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine and the Ivano-Frankivsk National Technical University of Oil and Gas, aims to provide an opportunity to publish scientific findings, discuss and exchange ideas and knowledge, as well as to create a network for future cooperation. Working in cooperation allows us to expand the horizons of scientific knowledge, to develop the advanced science, provides an opportunity for scientists from different countries to show and reveal their abilities.
Ishonchim komilki, ushbu keng ko'lamli va nufuzli konferensiya professional, ishchan va do'stona muhitda o'tkaziladi. Yana shunga aminmanki, yalpi va shu'ba majlislarida barcha ma'ruzalar diqqat bilan tinglanib, olimlarga o'z ishlarini taqdim etishga imkon beradi. Har bir yo'nalish raqamli globallashuv sharoitida muhim jihatlarni ochib beradigan asosiy xususiyatlarga ega. Ushbu xalqaro onlayn konferensiyada 13 dan ortiq mamlakat vakillari ishtirok etmoqda.
I'm confident that this noticeable and prestigious event will take place in a professional, working, and friendly atmosphere. I'm also confident that all reports and papers will be given due attention, allowing specialists present their work. Each section has key features that reveal important aspects of the context of digital globalization. More than 13 countries are participating in this international online conference.
Lekin atrof muhit masalalari va energetikaning barqaror rivojlanishi muammolari butun dunyoni qamrab oladi desam mubolag'a bo'lmaydi.
I think environmental and sustainable energy issues span the globe.
Har bir mamlakatning vakili paydo bo'lgan muammoni ilmiy hal qilish yo'llarini topadi. Barcha ma'ruzachilar va ishtirokchilarga yuksak kayfiyat, samarali ijodkorlik, ilmiy va mehnat faoliyatiga muvaffaqiyatlar tilayman.
Each representative of the country will find a scientific solution to an urgent problem. I wish all the speakers and participants excellent mood, fruitful work, and success in their scientific and work activities.
Umid qilamanki, ushbu anjuman jarayonida har birimiz ilm fanni rivojlantirish uchun eng zarur, muhim va kerakli narsalarni o'rganamiz. 9-xalqaro ilmiy konferensiyaning barcha ishtirokchilariga yana bir bor mustahkam sog'lik, muvaffaqiyat va yaxshi kayfiyatni tilab qolaman.
I do hope that each of us will learn the most important and necessary things for the development of science during this period. I frankly wish all participants of the 9th International Scientific Conference good health, success, and good working mood.
E'tiboringiz uchun katta rahmat.
Thank you for attention.
Thank you for your interesting speech. So we also have hope for further collaboration with Uzbekistan, I think, our university in future. And now I would like to invite Professor Giuseppe Ticirella from the Faculty of Economics, University of Gdańsk, Poland. Please, Mr. Cirella. Yes, Professor Cirella, are you here?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Sorry about that.
Yes, maybe it was not this day.
Oh, sorry about that. It just didn't work out. I'm just trying to share a window. Is it possible to share a presentation? Hello?
Yes. Everything
Is
is
it
okay
possible?
right now.
Is it possible to share a presentation by any chance, or?
Yes, you can share. You can share presentation.
Okay. Do you see my?
Not yet. Yes, right now it's coming.
Do you see the window?
Yes.
Finance and health. Okay,
Yes,
fantastic.
right now everything is okay.
First of all, thank you for the invitation to the 9th conference. I was a little surprised, but also a little excited. I participated in the conference in person in 2019, and was first exposed to a few of the participants in 2018 at other conferences in Ukraine. And I've been working in Ukraine for a number of years, and it was a bit of and also I was in Ukraine, and I've been in Ukraine for quite a long time, from 2021 until basically 1 week before the 24th of February. I've been working in Ukraine quite extensively, so it was a heartbreaking experience, and I imagine the same for Ukrainians. My heart goes out to Ukrainians, and apart from my faculty and my university, and my adopted country is Poland. Covertly, you have another nation involved. I'm Italian, so you have another nation involved in your statistics. So you could add that, and so you have another nation involved in this conference. And I hope that, and I say to the, with my warmest regards, that I hope that we can have this conference in the future, and I can come to Ivano-Franceschi, a lovely city, and we can do this again sooner than later. Yes, in person. I'm a human geographer by trade. I deal in economic geography, sustainability. I look at political science. I look at a lot of development studies. I'm an environmental engineer in terms of doctoral research. Recently, I've sort of been spending time looking at landscape architecture. I've been looking at green sustainability, and even more recently, looking at medical and health geography. Today, I'd like to present, and I'll come back to a finale, but I'd like to present some interesting discussions about financing costs and health effects. Basically, I'm looking at the incidence of air pollution in urban areas. I think it's something that might correspond with some of the topics, or some of the topics that will be discussed. Basically, the area which I explored with some colleagues specifically looks at the Tri-City agglomeration, which is a combination of Tri-City, making up Gdynia, Sopot, and Gdańsk, which are three cities which all kind of become one. We looked at specific characteristics of this region, coastal and the port-based shipping. In this case, the diagram shows a port of Gdynia and the port of Gdańsk. This is very important because these two ports, if the Black Sea is cut off, could potentially be where Ukraine will need to export or use one of the export ports in the north of Poland. Alternatively, it could go down to Constanța in Romania. There could be other ports, but let's hope that Odessa is freed up and that issue is resolved. Specifically, when I looked at with my colleagues, we looked at general regression models and we looked at health effects of air pollution and development health costs in relation to those treated diseases, specifically the diseases of bronchial asthma. We looked at chronic pulmonary disease, COPD, and we also looked at pneumonia. I think like when we look at different air pollutants, and if you look at specifically the extent of that sphere of the economy, due to the fact that diseases caused by such substances generate broadly understood health costs, you can imagine there's sort of like three types of costs. I think there's direct, indirect, and there's social costs. The direct costs of, in this case, having diseases, specifically the diseases I spoke about. You could have financial outlays, which require supplies for health services. They also include costs arising from the utilization of resources. There's direct non-medical costs. Direct non-medical costs, and that can be opposed to the direct medical costs, which are related to diagnostic procedures. There's also the expenses from the state, from households, and sort of in the incoming decade, air pollution is forecast to increase. As a consequence to the number of cases and hospital admissions that could increase as a result of such effects, indirect costs related to the occurrence of a given disease, either borne by the patient or by the economy, you can sort of see that there would be a sum of effects that would accumulate, and this could accumulate to enterprises or an entire economy as a result of whatever comes out of that. The third one was social costs, which include related costs that are borne by the society, right? So these are somewhat difficult to calculate. As you can sort of see, they're non-measurable. So they're associated with pain. And so air pollution comes in, and there's sort of the opportunity that you might take advantage of what's being lost due to illness-related limitations. That could be like physical as well as mental discomfort, and that can contribute to a lower quality of life. These are sort of the shipping ports. The top picture is Gdynia, and the bottom two pictures are the ports in Gdańsk. We did some analytical modeling. Without going into the regression analysis and without getting into too much detail, without getting into the scientific ends of it. Looking at bronchial asthma, looking at the COPD, pneumonia, and disease-related death. This chart sort of shows the affected population in terms of percentage, and we can sort of see in the blue on the very left, so in this case, the years, and as we went from the study, looked at research between 2011 and 2018, and specifically we could sort of see death, just specifically the blue line, or the blue bar chart. And you sort of see death at 3% in 2008. And then you can sort of see different, specifically air pollutants that were studied in relation to nitrogen oxide, particulate matter 10, particulate matter 2.5, and O3. We correlated all of this together, and we found that in a the relationship between the presence of polluted air and the incidence of diseases within the urban population of the Tri-City agglomeration, that there were specific substances to be selected whose presence may likely be associated with certain inflammatory conditions. These inflammatory conditions are obviously respective of the respiratory tract. In this case, asthma. These substances were particulate matter 10 and particulate matter 2.5. And COP2 or COPD, it was NO2 and particulate matter 2.5. And in pneumonia, it was particulate matter 10. This was interesting because it correlated with research that was done by Canadian scientists, and the impact on coastal and port shipping activities on the incidence of studied respiratory, the respiratory system, sort of proved that shipping traffic, in this case the shipping, the logistics reasons of moving goods, turned out to be a significant contributor to the factor of incidence in each of the studied diseases. And the obtained results suggested that the limits of air pollutant emission established in Poland, at least, may be insufficient to protect human health. Therefore, the reduction should be considered based on the additional research undertaken to bear out these hypotheses, or the hypothesis of the statements. Regulatory amendments should also apply to vessels. So in terms of talking about sustainability, you could look at environmental engineering and also looking at the energy factors related to how shipping and emissions is sorted out. Adapting to potential legislative changes, so there could also be legislative policy recommendations, etc., looking at how we might market-orient environmental policy tools. So these policies should encompass a program of tradable permits, we would say probably amounting to some idea relating to air pollutant emissions, and maybe, especially in the European Union, we look at emission fees, or better define something that you might say in terms of property rights. I think there's two conclusions to this, and I'm almost done, is that first, it was identified that emitted air pollutants influence the health of they can influence the health of the population. This is not only negative impact on health and individuals, but also the burden of the agglomeration, in this case the Tri-City, which has a trickle-on financial effect, or the financial costs. Second, the regression analyses, we sort of indicated that air pollution and weather factors significantly influence the incidence of considered respiratory diseases and their exacerbations. So notably, I think the findings from this quick discussion was that air pollutants outside the context of seaport, so in this case, we're just looking at a seaport at Gdańsk, you can sort of see the picture here, that regarding the economic aspect, the analyses sort of explained that health outcomes attributed to air pollution burdens on the health system, or let's say public health system. In this case, in Poland, it's the NFZ, and they have a reimbursement scheme. And so you can sort of see that there would be financial costs, and you can calculate financial costs in that respect. I think in conclusion, the analyzed diseases are systematically underestimated, though, and that it's necessary that further research be based on the cause and effect sequence, and you might look at different mechanisms that impact different types of air pollutants. I'd like to say that, I've been working on a number of different research topics. Specifically, at the moment, obviously with the end of COVID, you might say, or the end of the pandemic, there's uncertainty shocks which have been coming up, and we can sort of see the economy and how different triple bottom line, economic, environmental, and social aspects or dimensions are affected. In this case specifically, I'm looking at 3 books. At the end of 2022, I'm looking at uncertainty shocks in Africa. It's the impact and equilibrium strategies for sound and economic social development. At the exact same time, there's also another book which looks at urban economic shocks more on a global stage. It's basically an extension of the African book, but on a global stage, and it looks at causation, lockdown, and impacts. And heartbreakingly, going back to my original statement of when I was what I was saying when I've been in Ukraine for some years now, is that I'm working with about 100 Ukrainian professors, and there may even be some here, and from all over the country. And I have a contract with Springer, writing the handbook on development economics of Ukraine. It looks at specifically the poverty reduction, but now and the book was supposed to come out in April. And so obviously it wasn't, there's no development economics when in February or at the end of February, Ukraine was attacked. So we had a 1-year extension with Springer, but we're hoping to still finish the book by the end of 2022 and we may look at post-war reconstruction or some additional research into each chapter. There's about 30 chapters, like I said, about 100 professors from Ukraine, and I'm not sure how many institutions, but quite a lot. I think that you sort of have a broad scope of some of the research I do. I look forward to working with some of you in person in a future conference together at Ivano Franceschi. It would be a pleasure to meet all of you or meet some of you if you attend a future in-person presentation. I hope that the presentation was interesting. Yaku, Yo, you, Toby, I'm sorry, thank you. Glory to Ukraine and your country. I was at the European Financial Congress in Sopot. I live in Sopot, Poland. I had a short discussion with your ex-president Poroshenko. He also wished me well with my book, and his message was to get European Union status, which I assume will come through very, very quickly, if not already. Let me wish the conference good luck, good fortune, and good health and peace to everyone, okay? God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your very interesting presentation, dear professor, but you have one question according to your speech.
Chat. Sure.
In chat,
I'm open to questions, as many as necessary.
What about the relation between hydrocarbon and diseases? Do you have such data? Ships are heavy fuel usually, then in many cases have elevated as content. Excuse me if it was on the graphs in the presentation. I was relatively small. I was not able to see. It's a question from Miss Marinella Panayotova. It is written in chat, please, if maybe it is better to...
Oh, it's in chat.
Yes, in our chat, this conference chat, please.
Sure. Oh, okay, so SO2, so specifically the first question says, what about the relation with SO2? So SO2 is sulfur dioxide. This is a traditional measure. And in terms of SO2, there's lots of research on SO2. And so that's why we didn't do it, okay? There's lots of research. So we were looking at other specific diseases. Do you have such data? Yes, we could get the data on SO2. I mean, mostly this research, I've worked with scientists from Warsaw and Gdynia Maritime University, or Marine University, and so they'll have some data. And if you want to, you can email me. My name comes up. My name comes up as Polo Center of Sustainability. My name is Giuseppe Cireda. That's just a research center. Ships use heavy fuel, usually that in many cases are elevated as contact. Oh, you weren't able to see the graph. Yeah, no, there's no. So we don't specifically look at SO2, mostly because it's a given. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Thank you, Ms. Panayotova. Are you satisfied from answer our?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you
Thanks
too.
for that.
So thank you one more time, dear professor, for your
You bet.
interesting
Thank you.
and deep investigation and presentation. So we have one more speaker in this our plenary meeting. This is Michael Redin from Rochester Institute of Technology from USA, but unfortunately because of technical conditions right now he cannot join us, this our meeting, but he will connect section meeting next time. So I think that everyone who wants to communicate to him will have possibility in this section meeting, please. So, and in this our plenary meeting is finished right now. I want to say much thanks to our valuable speakers. All speeches were very interesting, informative, and deep investigation. And right now we will have break up to section meeting number 1. Section meeting number 1 will start at 14 o'clock, at 2 o'clock past morning, p.m. And please connect about 15 minutes before this. Not to have some again technical problems. It's better to connect a little before. So much thanks to all participants of this our meeting. I wish you have nice time, productive time in our conference, and see you soon. Today, right now, break. Bye bye. Yes.
Розкажи мені, де я
Зараз що у нас?
буде? Там
Фу,
тебе чи ні?
відмучили 12. Ура.
Я просто може ще нехай.
То ви вже тут будете, да, Свія Михайлівна? Все, пляшку з водою я